And we are live. Good Friday evening, everyone. It is less than a few hours to my 60th birthday. I'm turning 60 years of age tomorrow. I can't believe it. I don't feel 60. But prior to that, it is Toronto Stevie Live. Good Friday night, everybody. And we have the SmackDown summary. But before we get to the SmackDown summary, I happen to watch for the first time in a long time. I've been trying to watch TNA wrestling. As you know, the rumors are rampant that TNA is once again on its last legs, that it could end up being sold possibly to WWE, who knows, or to someone else, but nonetheless, the Aspers family that owns TNA or owns the company that owns TNA Wrestling um, could possibly be selling the company. Who knows? But Impact Wrestling was having their go home show to Slammiversary, which is happening Sunday night. I think there's a NXT show on the same night as Slammiversary. So I think TNA started out with the Righteous and the Hardy Boys cutting promos on each other. I had watched that Wicked Games match in which the Righteous beat the Hardy Boys. Um, they're they're in the ring when both teams are confronted by the TNA World Tag Team Champions, Brian Myers, who is the former Kurt Hawkins, and Bear Bronson. Don't know who he is. Nonetheless, Matt Hardy started fighting. Matt and Jeff started fighting both of the guys, and they were beating up Matt Hardy when Jeff decided to bring out a ladder. And I thought he was going to do a really dumb flying move off of the ladder inside the ring, but nonetheless, the segment ended with just him standing on the ladder and Matt Hardy. Um, I think he got away from the bad guys and just stood in front of the ladder next to his brother. So, um, um, Daria Ray, who was the former Sonya Deville in WWE, decides she meets with Mustafa Ali and basically announces that she's going to add his team. They're called Order 4, and it's going to be a four-way a ladder match for the WWE, for the TNA World Tag Team titles at Slammiversary. And then finally, we get the opening match of the night. The former Dana Brooke, now known as Ash by Elegance, taking on Mara Sade in a singles match. Um, and So then I think Ash by Elegance she actually lost by disqualification against Mara Sade when I think it was Elena Black. Elena Black and Indy Hartwell got involved in this match. Um, so then I think this is how it ended. We had Eric Young. There's a lot of names in there that I'm not really familiar with. Ricky Sosa, Eric Young and Ricky Sosa, don't really know who this guy was. You had AJ Francis taking on another unknown Manny Lemons. I think he was a jobber wrestler anyway. AJ Francis quickly won that match. You had Elijah, the former Elias. So he comes out, or he's on the big screen, and he cuts a promo on AJ Francis, and then after that was Zaya Brookside. It was I think she won a match. There was an injury report, a TNA injury report, and then Mike Santana, who is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, they announced that he's going to confront Nick Nemeth, the former Dolph Ziggler, later on in the show. And they're in the main event at TNA, their show later on. But there was like a 6-man tag team match. For the TNA X Division has an X Division Ultimate X match as well on Slammiversary. The X Division champion Cedric Alexander teaming with Frankie Kazarian and Mr. Elegance taking on Leon Slater, Fabian Eichner, and KC Navarro. And nonetheless, it was the heels won this match. I think Frankie Kazarian got the pin and the win as well. And I think there was the confrontation with Nick Nemeth. Basically, Nick Nemeth, he got sucker punched by Mike Santana, and then he then beat up Mike Santana, and then it was later announced the main event segment was actually Nick Nemeth coming down to the ring and basically saying that Mike said he wanted basically to be crowned the TNA World Heavyweight Champion without even having a match, but they didn't go that route because Mike Santana came back and Mike Santana beat up some security guards. But Nick Nemeth took a powder and refused to engage in a fight. So that was how TNA ended without a fight. Usually in WWE, they have fights. So what do we got here? Mr. Chobo, how are you doing? And you're seeing Supergirl tomorrow. Well, believe me, for me, I remember watching the Supergirl movie with Helen Slater. I don't know if you've seen that, Anthony. That was a long time ago, back about 40 years ago. I think there was a Supergirl movie starring Helen Slater. But let's get to the SmackDown summary because this was the go-home show to Night of Champions for SmackDown from the O2 Arena in London because they were in Raw was there before. So they had Little Yachty and Crick Williams come out and they cut a promo. They're interrupted by Ricky Saints ahead of their match. And Ricky he takes a cheap shot at Little Yachty And then when Trick Williams goes to check on Little Yachty, Ricky Saints runs into the ring and takes a cheap shot on Trick Williams ahead of their match. So backstage, we have a woman named Jackie is interviewing Alexa Bliss. So I guess Charlotte Flair is not on the show tonight, and that Alexa Bliss is going to team up with Tiffany Stratton against BFAB and Michin. So that's what so we get the opening match of the night is that actual tag team match. And the baby faces pretty much had the advantage against the heels for most of it. When behind the referee's back, Jade Cargill comes in and she gets a cheap shot in on Tiffany Stratton, allowing the heels to get the win with some, because BFAB hit some sort of weird cutter move, looked pretty weak actually, and BFAB and Michin got the win. Jade Cargill comes in and she was going to help her friends beat up the baby faces when Chelsea Green comes down to the ring. She's got a kendo stick, but she doesn't use it. She actually drops it when she's getting into the ring, and then Jade Cargill tries to attack her, but Chelsea lowers the rope, and Jade Cargill takes a powder out of the ring. We get backstage. It looks like the Tongans are breaking up with Solo Sikoa. Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga basically tell Solo to take a hike. So Solo, I guess, is by himself. So he loses them. So then Jade Cargill approaches Nick Aldis and basically tells him that she wants a match with Chelsea Green later on in the night, and Nick Aldis makes the match. So it'll be Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green. But then we had probably the match of the night on the show. It was the AAA Cruiserweight Champion Ray Phoenix defending the title against Nathan Frazier, the hometown person from England. And this was a fantastic match. They gave it a lot of time. Fantastic. I would highly recommend watching it. Back and forth, a lot of high flying moves. Ray Phoenix, he used the Mexican muscle buster on Nathan Frazier and got the win. So the winner of the match still the Cruiserweight Champion, Ray Phoenix. But I highly recommend this. This was like 4-star, 5-star match. Very impressed. We go backstage, and Mr. Charisma Byron Saxton is interviewing the tag team champions R-Truth and Damian Priest when they are confronted by the AAA tag team champions, the War Raiders, and the War Raiders basically challenge them to for both of the titles. A car pulls up in the back in the garage area. A woman named Jackie is there, and she sees it's L.A. Knight. L.A. Knight comes out, and he immediately says, "Hey, Jackie, are you stalking me?" Anyway, L.A. Knight is there, and he's on SmackDown, and he wants to go to the ring and explain to the crowd why he's there. So we come back from the commercial break. L.A. Knight's in the ring. He talks about wrestling Jimmy Uso, and he beat Jimmy Uso with Solo Sikoa's help. He didn't want Solo Sikoa's help, but nonetheless, he wants Solo Sikoa to come down, and he wants to confront Solo Sikoa. So Solo comes down, And LA Knight says 10 times out of 10, you've wanted to attack me, but I'm not here to fight you. Um, 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 Solo Sikoa, he says he's not looking for a fight, but he tells Solo, everyone in your family has left you, and now he's got, and he sort of wants to know what, um, he hates the bloodline, he hates Jacob Fatu, the Usos, Roman Reigns, and so I'm kind of not really invested in this. But I'm kind of wondering where this is going, whether LA Knight is proposing some sort of alliance with Solo Sikoa. This kind of went on and on and on. I kind of lost track of this. Anyway, I think Solo made some sort of offer to LA Knight, and LA Knight just cut him off and said no. So backstage, Byron Saxton is with Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn is cutting this promo, and Johnny Gargano is kind of hanging out. But basically, Sami Zayn says he's going to be the WWE champion. So we go back to the ring, and we have a singles match. It is Paige with Brie Bella at her side taking on JC Jane. This was another homecoming for a British wrestler, and it was Paige getting the win. I think Paige caught a roll up. He was rolling. She rolled up JC Jane and pinned her for a 1, 2, 3, and Paige wins the match. There was a weird segment. Actually, it started backstage and it continued in the ring with Danhausen, The Miz, and Kit Wilson, and Humberto and the Garzas. Humberto and they're looking for money from Danhausen, and when they got in the ring, basically Nick Aldis comes out and makes a tag team match of was it LA Knight? No, it was Matt Cardona. Yeah, Matt Cardona and Danhausen taking on the Garzas. We also had a backstage meeting of Finn Balor and the Tongans, and then we had the tag team match, and I think it was Danhausen actually got the win in this match. He hit a reverse DDT, sort of a slop drop or move on one of the Garzas, and pinned him. And we had The Miz and Kit Wilson walking around ringside like they were zombies. It was kind of dumb. I mean, I'm not really into Danhausen as much as a wrestler, or even these backstage segments are just basically using up a lot of time. But nonetheless, Danhausen and Matt Cardona win the match. Backstage, Byron Saxton interviews Gunther, and then we come back from the commercial break. Jade Cargill takes on Chelsea Green, and she makes quick work of Chelsea. Hits the Jaded on Chelsea Green and pins her 1, 2, 3. Pretty quick match. You never expected Chelsea Green to win the match. But after the match, Tiffany Stratton comes out, and along with Alexa Bliss, and they get into a fight with BFAB and Meechin when Jade Cargill helps out the other girls. And this segment ends with uh, Jade Cargill hitting the jaded move on Tiffany Stratton and leaving her lane. So then I think coming back from the commercial break, Jackie Redmond is interviewing Trick Williams and Lil Yachty. And Lil Yachty actually cuts a promo on Ricky Saints, and then Trick Williams takes over and cuts a promo on Ricky Saints. We then get a very quiet match, Julia versus Kiana James. The crowd in the O2 Arena was very quiet for this match, even though Julia has... I think it was her mother from England. Nonetheless, Julia wins this match. Really a nothing match. And then the main event segment was this basically the main characters in the SmackDown WWE main event world title match. Cody Rhodes comes out, starts cutting a promo. When he's interrupted by Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn comes out. They've all got microphones, by the way. All these people have microphones, and they're all talking back and forth. Sami Zayn basically saying, if it wasn't for me, Gunther would be WWE champion. And then Cody comes back at him and cuts a promo on Sami Zayn. Saying how he's best friends with Kevin Owens, but if Kevin Owens was here, he'd come and he'd confront him from the front, not from the back, alluding to when Sami hit him in the face with the championship belt. But Sami Zayn tells Cody Rhodes, keep Kevin Owens' name out of your mouth. Then Gunther comes out, and he's mad at both of these guys, and he says, yeah, if it wasn't for Sami, he agrees with Sami. He says, if it wasn't for you, I'd be the WWE champion. But nonetheless, he says at Night of Champions, he's going to be the WWE champion, and he'll walk into SummerSlam facing the King of the Ring. And this brings out the King of the Ring main eventers, those in the finals. Jey Uso and Oba Femi. Jey Uso comes out first, and he basically tells Gunther, I'm going to beat you at SummerSlam like I did. I'm going to beat you at Night of Champions like I did at SummerSlam. And he tells Cody Rhodes, this is a warning shot. He tells Sami Zayn, this is a warning shot. But he says to Gunther, I'm not giving you a warning shot. And Gunther gets a cheap shot in on Jey Uso, and then everybody starts fighting, and this brings out Oba Femi. Oba Femi just stands on the ringside while he watches all the other guys beat up each other, and this whole segment ends with Cody Rhodes and Oba Femi going face to face. So it certainly looks like Oba Femi is, like I said, Oba Femi should win the King of the Ring. There is just no reason why Oba Femi should not be the King of the Ring. I really hope that WWE doesn't screw this up by having, having Brock Lesnar come out and cost Oba Femi the King of the Ring, setting up another match. Give Oba the King of the Ring. There's just no reason why he should not have it, why he should do anything screwy. Sometimes you just gotta go with the hot hand, and believe me, Oba Femi is the one with the hot hand. So that was SmackDown, the Go Home show. So you'll have to let me know what you think of. Let me know what you think of all of this, because I'm going to be watching the show over the weekend. It might not be live because I'm having my birthday tomorrow, but eventually I'll get a chance to watch it. So that was the SmackDown summary. let me know what you think, and I'll get this up as quickly as I can. I apologize, I'm having some computer problems, but let me know what you thought of SmackDown, whether you like the show or not, and I'll get this up as quickly as I can. So thank you, everybody, and I am out of here. Good night.